Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. This video is being pre-recorded because I am not allowed to post things on YouTube because people have been flagging crypto YouTubers videos and their channels have been I can't access my channel for the next 7 days. That's the nicest way of saying it. For those of you who are wondering why I haven't posted any videos, if you have not been on Facebook and or Twitter, that's why. Someone said that I had harmful content in my videos. Therefore, I was not allowed to post for 7 days. So it's being pre-recorded because there is still news that's taking place. And without further ado, hope you're all doing well. And let's start the show. Bitcoin tech startup Blockstream said its Seed Lightning software team is the first to release a working version of multi-parts payments. While the name Seed Lightning version 0.8.0 is a mouthful, it's a big improvement for the user experience of the Lightning Network. A new layer that's probably Bitcoin's best shot at scaling to support a large number of payments. I'll try and swing back to that in 1 second. The change updates the plumbing of Lightning Network payments so users can send larger Lightning payments with a much smaller risk of them failing. I'll get back to that in 1 second as well. Actually, I'll talk about it right now. So the entire idea has been since the end of 2017. We all know that Bitcoin's slow. There's no one contesting that at all. We know that I think Bitcoin can do a maximum, I think, of 3 to 5 transactions per second. I think somebody recorded 6 transactions per second and people were like, woo, it did it. The entire point has been is that they've been looking for an alternative to be able to send Bitcoin payments a lot faster. And the alternative seems to be something called the Lightning Network. There are 2 major popular ones. There's the Lightning Network and the Liquid Network, if you kind of want to call it that. Liquid is more for cryptocurrency exchanges. Lightning is supposed to be for me, you, everyday use. If you want to buy a coffee, this is how you can do it, because the idea has been before that Bitcoin payments, especially some of the fees before in the past, have been rather high. Let's say if you are trying to buy a cup of coffee and the coffee is $1.50, but your network fee is around 95 cents. Who wants to do that? So the Lightning Network was created, and part of the Lightning Network is that you have to pre-fund your channel payment network as payments are being sent through you. So I'll pre-fund it with 0.01 Satoshis. You funded the same amount. They funded the same amount. Somebody may do a 10th of a Bitcoin, a 15th of a Bitcoin, what have you. It gets pre-funded. And as the payments are going through there, it has to go through the pre-funded channels in order to be able to get to its destination. But thus far, the entire point of the Lightning Network has been to be able to send smaller payments. This was the entire idea behind Lightning Network, is that if people want to send smaller payments and people aren't trying to send $1 million, $500,000, but they just want to send some 5, 10, 15, 20, 35 euros, dollars to their friends somewhere else around the world, even just across the street, they won't have to rely on Bitcoin's higher network fees. They'll simply be able to use Lightning. They said the user experience of Lightning clients is a topic that is brought up often, and we are working actively on improving the status quo together with the teams working on other Lightning implementations. Our goal is to make using Lightning as easy as using an on-chain wallet. Right now, it's not easy. For one thing, there's a chance that there won't be enough liquidity in the network to support the transaction, especially for larger payments like we just spoke about. Say a user sends half a Bitcoin across the network. Under the hood, it bounces from one node to the next until it reaches its destination. Each of those nodes that it's touching also has to have 0.5 Bitcoin preloaded on their node in order for it to be able to pass through their system. And part of the problem is if someone is trying to say, usually when you look at the actual Lightning Network and the pre-funded nodes, many of them are around 0.10 Bitcoin inside of it. Some of them you may find like 0.05 Bitcoin, like pre-funded. So if someone's trying to send 5 million Satoshis, it still gets to go through. It still passes through the network. But let's say there's a situation and somebody's like, I want to send 8 Bitcoin. Well, that's not going to be possible for you because you would need multiple other networks or nodes out there that have pre-funded at least 8 Bitcoin to be able to have yours pass through them. Get the issue? If one of the nodes in the path doesn't have enough Bitcoin, like I just said, the user is out of luck and the payment fails, which has happened many other times before. And this is part of the major criticism of the Lightning Network, is that people will eventually in the future want to send perhaps larger denominations. Like we had information before that someone I think had send, what was it, like several $1 million worth of Bitcoin at one time, and I think the network fee was around $4, $5, $6, which sounds like a lot to us, but if you were sending that through Swift or some other normal, typical, historical payment network, you would have been charged tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. Not even joking. Like, it's like, was it like 2, 3, 4, 5% fee? It would have been astronomical. So the fact that you can get it from even from 10,000 down to $6 is incredible. But people always want a bit more, so they want the, because usually when you send a payment through the Lightning Network, it costs 1 Satoshi, not 15 Satoshis. 0.01 Bitcoin is 1 million Satoshis. So imagine one of them as opposed to 1 million, if you can kind of put the numbers in your head. Multi-part payments tackle this problem by making it possible to break a payment into smaller pieces that are easier to send across the network, since a user can combine Bitcoin from multiple channels they have open to send payments. I assume this will take a while for us to get. A lot of things do take a bit of time, but we will have it. I think sometimes a lot of these things, I think they're blown out of proportion. This is kind of how I feel. We already have networks, not even just Bitcoin. If you're trying to send something cheaper, there are other networks to do so. You can then maybe swap back into Bitcoin. There's a whole bunch of other ways that you can also try to do this. We will eventually have a near perfect Bitcoin Lightning network system payments thing, which works fine. But as of right now, I think that because many people believe or think that Bitcoin is the major name of the game, that everything has to kind of focus or update just on Bitcoin. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's move on. Here's an interesting one. Authorities in Uzbekistan have effectively banned residents in the country from purchasing cryptocurrencies on digital exchanges licensed within the country, so even legal ones. Crypto holders will only be able to sell their coins, and that's if they have not been obtained through anonymous transactions. Amendments to the local regulations postulate. That's even weirder. The Central Asian Republic made it to the crypto media headlines this year when it legalized cryptocurrency trading and introduced licensing, there we go, for exchanges with a presidential decree issued in the fall of 2018. An earlier decree signed by the president in the summer of the same year prepared the legal grounds for other activities related to the circulation of digital coins. For a while, the country looked promising for cryptocurrencies. However, the National Agency for Project Management, which is subordinated to the presidency, has recently adopted amendments to the regulatory regime that significantly limit options for local private individuals using cryptocurrencies. According to a new order licensed by the agency on the 6th of December, Uzbekistan citizens will only be allowed to sell crypto assets on registered exchanges. Sputnik, I'm so stupid, Sputnik. Sputnik and Forklog, I assume those are the news agencies reported. What's Sputnik? Besides, using decentralized cryptos as a means of payment is now prohibited in the country. This is also making the rounds. It says it on the screen right here. This is probably happening because of the Financial Action Task Force. I mentioned other times before, and other people, I think some people still ask, and people were wondering before, why I do not have and why I will not have and why I did not have before cryptocurrencies that have private transactions. Governments don't like them. Institutions don't usually care for them, and the Financial Action Task Force has suggested to other countries to follow these laws and to not allow cryptocurrencies that allow private transactions to be allowed. That's kind of the main basis point for it. The other secondary part of it is allowing people or not allowing them to buy it, but only to sell it. Once again, leads me down that path of that we saw before. What was the other news that we just had about a week or two ago where there was a post office that was allowing people to only sell their cryptocurrencies? They had no buy option. I feel like a lot of this, maybe under the hood, you can look at it how you want. We all have our different views. We all look at things differently. But the fact that there are so many places right now that are stopping, when you tell people that you can't buy something, you make them afraid of holding it, so they end up getting scared and they sell it. Who are they selling it to? They're selling it to you, which then gives you more cryptocurrency, especially when you get into the topic of the coins that have a finite amount, so on and so forth. I was hoping that we wouldn't have an enormous amount of news. Well, rather, we didn't. In 2019, we did pretty well. We didn't have an enormous amount of countries that had news like this, but I feel like the pickup is going to rise relatively rapidly in 2020. I don't think it will be countries that we typically talk about on a more normal basis. However, expect about 10 countries around the world to either ban it, do something like this, or announce like really weird capital controls. And that's, without saying too much, that's just how things are going to go for a while until we get wind, which I think is also going to be fascinating, that these countries are either creating their own cryptocurrencies or using the ones that they have accumulated. Interesting times ahead. Let's move on. Next up, in a little bit of nice news, the American Cancer Society, or the ACS, a non-profit organization committed to funding cancer research, is now accepting Bitcoin donations through BitPay. Founded in 2011 as a Bitcoin payment solution, BitPay says it has handled more than $50 million in donations since 2017, with partners such as Tony Hawk's Foundation and the American Red Cross. I thought this was kind of nice. We usually end up getting news, forgive me. Bitcoin's now accepted on this website where you can buy shoes, or you can now buy a paper plane. Or it's always something very weird. So we typically don't get like major organizations. I think it takes a lot for them to do this. I think cryptocurrency is still very new, that they don't understand or maybe just get the actual ramifications of where this is all going and how big this is going to be. They probably don't listen to the news or hear the news or read the news about all the banks, institutions, and countries who are into cryptocurrencies. So I like stuff like this. I like little news stories like this, if you will. Don't have to spend too much time on it. I just thought it was fascinating. Good for them. Let's move on. I think it was also, what was the other one? Was it Doctors Without Borders? It was some other organization who helps people around the world. They also started accepting, I think they accepted Bitcoin and Litecoin. Love it. Let's move on. Next up, cryptocurrency exchange Binance. Sorry for screaming into the microphone. Binance has added the Binance Coin / Ether trading pair to their decentralized exchange, according to the company announcement on the 24th of December. The listing follows an initial proposal posted, on the Binance community website a week ago by Changpeng Zhao. ETH BEP2, that is ETHBEP2, tokens will be issued on Binance Chain, pegged to and backed 1-to-1 by Ether assets held in a publicly disclosed reserve address. Binance will support conversion between native ETH and the Binance Chain equivalent through deposits and withdrawals. There's something very interesting there in 1 second. This will provide an option for Binance DEX users to trade ETH on the decentralized platform. Okay, here's another really good one. When you talk about the actual scarcity of cryptocurrencies, another really fascinating thing that really took me a while to kind of get, and even just seeing it on the screen, kind of like it popped into my head once again. What they're starting to do in a lot of different websites is they're starting to make like wrapped coins. Like even like this one, it says the ETH BEP2 tokens issued on Binance Chain, pegged 1-to-1 to Ether, and the Ether is going to be inside of a reserve address. What a lot of cryptocurrency exchanges are starting to do, and I assume this is also going to be a major thing for banks, maybe New York Stock Exchange, speculation somewhere along the way, is that they accumulate these coins and they create other coins that are kind of based on them, but the actual asset, the actual Ether itself, is locked away, and it lowers the actual circulating supply of those coins. So they may have other coins that are kind of like, I want to say like IOUs, which aren't wonderful within the cryptocurrency space or within the financial world, but we'll be able to have actual metrics on the amount of, once again, the amount of Bitcoin and Ether and potentially XRP and Litecoin that are bought up by these institutions and are also locked in reserves as they create other coins, so that we'll know, like, I'm holding Ether, and I know for a fact that this company, this so-and-so, this exchange so-and-so have millions of Ether locked up, like they actually lowering the supply of it. I mean, not the most exciting thing, but for me, stuff like this, just to know that there's always less circulating. You know how I feel about circulation. And the other part, which I thought we could bypass, but alas, here it is. It says, coincidentally, Cointelegraph reported on a Twitter discussion yesterday about Binance's decentralized exchange involving Ethereum's co-founder Vitalik Buterin. Buterin defended Ethereum against accusations of centralization, saying that Binance's decentralized exchange seems like a way better target for such attacks, claiming that Binance's decentralized exchange is hardly decentralized despite its name. In contrast, Buterin suggested that Ethereum merely has a few governance values that some Bitcoin people don't like. In the past, for those of you who haven't been here, whenever things happen on Bitcoin, it's like a 3-year discussion. It kind of goes through the entire crypto Bitcoin community. People vote on it. People say yay or nay. I don't like this. I think it's wrong. It took a very long time, even for SegWit to be activated on Bitcoin. It took a long time and some people still didn't like it, but it had network consensus, and this is how things go in a decentralized world. Before in the past on Ethereum, Vitalik kind of raised his hands and was like, yeah, let's do it. And it ended up happening. There were reports before, and this is why sometimes with like a foundation and stuff like that, it gets to be a bit sticky because there were people asking before, if said person left this organization or left this coin, would you still hold it? And people were like, no, I'd sell it. I would get rid of it. So it leads to like a centralized discussion. Like there were rumors before that Vitalik Buterin had or was going to leave Ethereum, and I think the price like slumped that day. So yeah, this was an argument I saw on Twitter. Not going to get too much into it. Everyone's throwing around the C word once again, centralized, trying to make everyone else's project or website or blockchain look more centralized than theirs. But right, here's the actual blog post right here. It says Binance DEX adds BNB/ETH trading pair. Wonderful. And to kind of finish things off, where is it? There we go. The project director of the Litecoin Foundation is warning that warning the crypto curious about an apparent scam on YouTube. David Schwartz says a YouTube channel posing as the foundation recently broadcast a video of the 2019 Litecoin Summit pretending it was happening live. The description of the video falsely states that the Litecoin Foundation is now giving away 100,000 Litecoin. Here's the actual tweet for it right here. It says, attention, this is a fake Litecoin Foundation YouTube channel scamming people out of their Litecoin as we speak. Do not believe the channel and what it is offering. This is not the official Foundation YouTube channel. The video deploys a classic crypto scam, claiming that anyone who sends Litecoin to a certain address will receive a larger amount of Litecoin in return. The point being, it's not even that they targeted Litecoin, it's that they're doing this in general. Please pay attention. These channels are popping up en masse once again. They were a very big thing at the beginning, the end of 2018, the beginning of 2019. And I mentioned to a couple of people, this is when people were asking me if I have a Telegram. I do not have a Telegram. People asking me, do I have an Instagram? I do not have an Instagram. There are people out there who are actively trying to scam other people by using my name, by using another name, by using an email that looks like mine. All I use is YouTube, and then I post my videos on Facebook and Twitter. So if you see a video, if anything ever says that they can give you a guaranteed return, it is a scam. And part of the problem is that these videos are popping up where they pretty much tell people, send me 1/10 of a Bitcoin and I'll send you an entire Bitcoin. If you step back and look at it logically, why would they do that? I'll give it to you this way. Imagine someone being like, oh yeah, give me 1 piece of gold and I'll give you 10. You go, why would you do that? Imagine someone being like, oh yeah, give me your house and I'll give you 10 houses. Sir, why would you do that? I'll give you 10 houses. So does it make any sense to do it for cryptocurrency? Of course it doesn't, but people still fall into it. Some of the first ones, it even says it right here, had to do with XRP. Please watch out. I mean, it should be very logical. If you have never received $1 million for free walking down the street, why would anyone on the internet give you money for nothing? It does not make any sense, especially when you think that these coins are finite. Why would they be giving you more? Anyway. That's just a warning for the masses, if you will. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Really a big thank you to everyone, like really out there during this time. I wish I could digitally hug all of you because the response from what's been happening has been absolutely wonderful. The situation isn't nice, but just to see how many people are supporting the people on YouTube who this is happening to, we all know it's nonsensical. Stuff like this has happened before, but not in this way. Apparently what happened was, so saith the internet, some people were unhappy with how other people were talking about certain coins. Some people were upset what people were talking about with other, I mean, it could really be anything, but I think there was one person who another YouTuber, he pretty much caught them on different forums saying that they had done it. The weirdest part is that person will receive no punishment for what they've done, but the people who did nothing receive the punishment. But it is what it is. I mean, I have a couple days, then you'll hear this, and I'll be back, and everything will be peachy, and then we can once again discuss why Bitcoin's price is always red. Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Mr. Pickles, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Barebones Mining, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohair Maroney, Master Ventures in Thailand, Brady Niels, Woody and Daisy, Triple M and J, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Mel Louise, Mechanic, Strange Radio Central, Crypto Artist, Coldy, 3D, Cryptopolis, Nicholas, Run Earth, One Piece, One Love, Damien, Setsuna, Nick, Kanaya, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Crypto and Beer, Shipmate, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Garner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Chest Every Day, and Kyle Skips Legs Day. I think I had a dream about that. I'm not even joking. I know I did. A couple of days ago. I think I had a dream with someone asking me, like, why does he hit his chest every day? It was so abstract, but I remember someone asking me those exact words. Very weird. That's odd that those words have permeated into my head. Yes to crypto. Bodie McBoatface, Sammy Boucha, Ting Tang, Walla Walla Bing Bang, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, and Nope. Shoop Diddy Shoop. I was like, no, that's not right. Shoop Diddy Wop, Hummer Wang Dang. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Immensely, every single one of you, and I really, really mean it. I hope you all are enjoying your holiday season. I hope it's amazing. I hope it's great. I hope somebody gifted you crypto. Yeah. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I'll talk to you all in a couple of days. See you.